InkDifferent Studio. Pick up your brush today.
Welcome to the InkDifferent Studio. This is Fiona. I would like to also welcome you to our Chinese calligraphy course, a captivating journey into one of the most ancient and respected forms of artistic expression. Chinese calligraphy is not just an art. It is profound cultural heritage, recognized globally for its artistic and historical value. This course will offer you an opportunity to delve into the elegance and depth of Chinese calligraphy, exploring its unique blend of written language and visual art. But this is not all. Chinese calligraphy is renowned for its therapeutic benefits, enhancing calmness, reducing stress, and improving mindfulness through the rhythmic motion in brush movements. These benefits make it not only a cultural exploration, but also a practice in mindfulness and personal tranquility. Our course will feature the classic Chinese text, the 1,000-character classic, 千字文. This text is not only a cornerstone for Chinese calligraphy training, but also a rich source of history and philosophy, making it perfect for both beginners and seasoned enthusiasts. The 千字文, translated as the 1,000-character classic, is a unique Chinese poem used as the premier for teaching Chinese characters to children. It is renowned for its ingenious composition, wherein none of its 1,000 characters are repeated. Composed by Zhou Xingsi during the Southern and Northern Dynasty, around the 6th century, the text is not just a linguistic tool, but also a collection of moral and philosophical teachings. The 1,000-character classic has been used traditionally in Confucian teaching, providing a fundamental literacy resource that also encapsulates essential elements of Chinese culture and wisdom. Each line consists of 4 characters, with the lines grouped into sections for easier memorization. The content covers a wide range of topics, from the basics of the cosmos and the natural world to the principles of human conduct as the fundamental of statecraft. This text not only helps in learning Chinese characters, but also in appreciating the depth and breadth of Chinese literary tradition and cultural values. It has been an important educational text in China and other Eastern Asian countries, influenced by classical Chinese culture. Join us as we trace the strokes of history and artistry in our journey. Whether you're looking to broaden your artistic skills or immerse yourself in cultural heritage, this course promises to be both educational and enriching. Also, do not forget to follow this channel for our regular course updates. To create a comfortable and relaxing environment for our course, start by ensuring the room is quiet, with good lighting, a stable table, and comfortable chairs. Change into comfortable clothing and lay out the equipment, which I will introduce you shortly. The brush requirements can vary depending on the script. For both seal and clerical scripts, the best brushes are those with soft bristles that hold a gorgeous amount of ink, making gold hair brushes an ideal choice. However, for regular script, the same type of brushes used for seal and clerical scripts may be challenging for beginners because they are too soft. Writing certain strokes that require bursts of strength will demand significant practice. For regular script, we need a brush with a stronger core while still capable of holding a good amount of ink. Therefore, for regular practice, a mixed hairbrush featuring weasel hair at the core and goat hair around it will be preferable. For writing very small characters, pure weasel hair brushes are the best option. As for running and cursive scripts, a brush with a relatively long head is ideal. This allows the brush head to move freely on the paper, enabling smooth, flowing lines. A mixed hairbrush can still be an easier option for beginners. If you are a complete beginner and don't wish to invest too much in brushes, I recommend this well-balanced, price-friendly brush set available in my shop, which can satisfy most of your needs, especially seal, clerical, and regular scripts. If you specifically prefer practicing running and cursive scripts, this other brush set will also work nicely. You can simply scan the QR codes on the screen. However, if you have specific preferences, feel free to contact me directly for personalized recommendations. I'll be happy to help. That said, I sincerely need to emphasize the importance of brush quality. I wholeheartedly recommend investing in good quality brushes, as the selection of brush hair, material, and the treatment of the brush handles are critical factors that can make a significant difference in the brush's performance and ease of use. Using poor quality brushes from the beginning may lead to the development of bad habits, which could hinder your progress later on. For calligraphy practice, brushes are your most essential tools, even more important than the papers you will use. On the screen, you will see a list of the necessary supplies. Please make sure to prepare them accordingly so we can begin our calligraphy journey. Also, feel free to scan the QR code to visit my site, where you will find a thoughtfully curated section of art supplies, books, and other valuable resources. Explore everything you need to enhance your artistic journey.
Today we're going to continue with the learning and writing of the 1,000-character classic. What are the new characters of today? Let's go find out. The character Zhou in Oracle Bone script resembles the shape of farmland, with 4 dots in the middle representing densely planted crops in the fields. Its original meaning likely referred to farmland. The Zhou dynasty originated in the region around present-day Qishan in Shanxi province, which at the time was one of the most agriculturally developed areas. As the Zhou dynasty was established based on agricultural production, they chose Zhou as the name of their country. Fa is a pictophonetic character. In early Oracle Bone script, the top part of Fa consisted of 2 zhi, representing feet, symbolizing 2 feet moving forward in parallel. In both Oracle Bone script and bronze inscriptions, this symbol indicated rapid upward or forward motion. The character depicted a hand holding a weapon like a spear, swiftly throwing it forward, conveying the meaning of releasing or throwing. By the late Shang and early Zhou dynasties, in bronze inscriptions, the character Fa underwent significant changes. The 2 feet moving forward had transformed, and the lower part, previously representing a hand and a spear, evolved into a bow and arrow. Although the form changed, the meaning remained the same: to release or to shoot. In Oracle Bone script, the weapon used for shooting was a primitive stick or spear, while in bronze inscriptions, it had transformed into a bow and arrow. By the time of Qin dynasty's small seal script, the upper part of the character still represented the symbol of feet moving forward, but the shi, arrow, had further evolved into shu, a weapon. The character Fa continued to develop from the small seal script into the later clerical and regular script forms. The character Yin first appeared in Oracle Bone script during the Shang dynasty. In Oracle Bone script, this is a compound resembling the character Shen, or its inverted form, pronouncing Yin, which looks like a person with a protruding belly. Above it, there is a horizontal stroke resembling a pair of hands, another part representing a hand holding something like a small stick, or mallet, shu. The structure of this character has sparked considerable debate. Here are some mainstream explanations. First view, the left side, yin, represents a body turning. The right side, shu, is an ancient weapon. In this context, it represents props used in dancing. The entire meaning is that a person turns their body, both dancing and striking instruments, symbolizing loud music and a lively atmosphere. The original meaning of yin is grand or magnificent. Second view, the right component shu is interpreted as a person holding a needle. Yin can be understood as someone holding a needle to treat a person with a swollen belly due to illness, implying a severe illness. The original meaning of yin is severe illness with a swollen belly, which then extended to mean large or grand. Third view, in ancient writing, shen symbolized a well-fed aristocrat, and the reverted shen on the left side of the character of yin represents a reversal of the aristocratic status, meaning that the person has lost their noble status. The right side, showing a hand holding a stick, represents enslavement. Therefore, the character means a person who has lost their noble status and is enslaved. By the time the character evolved into bronze script, its form remained similar to that in Oracle bone script. In small seal script, an additional leg was added beneath the figure on the left side, and the right side became less recognizable as a hand holding an object. Clerical and regular script forms evolved directly from small seal script. The character Tang first appeared in bronze inscriptions during the Western Zhou dynasty. In the bronze script form of Tang, the left component is the character for water, 水, serving as the semantic element, indicating that the original meaning relates to water. The right side component is yang, which acts as the phonetic element. The original meaning of Tang referred to hot water, and it was also specifically used to refer to hot springs. In ancient times, geng, which is a type of soup or stew, was considered the main course. After the Tang dynasty, Tang came to be used to refer to liquid-based dishes. By Ming dynasty, Tang became recognized as a category of food in meals. In this context, Tang refers to the personal name, Cheng Tang, the founder of Shang dynasty. In summary, Zhou Fa means King Wu of Zhou, whose name is Ji Fa. He is remembered for his military victory over the last ruler of the Shang dynasty, King Zhou of Shang. After defeating the Shang in the Battle of Muye, King Wu established the Zhou dynasty, which is regarded as one of the most important and long-lasting dynasties in Chinese history. The character Fa symbolizes his launch of the rebellion that led to the downfall of the Shang and the start of the Zhou dynasty. Yin Tang refers to Cheng Tang, also known as Tang of Shang. He was the first king of the Shang dynasty, who overthrew the Xia dynasty's last ruler, King Jie, known for his tyrannical rule. Cheng Tang is revered as a just and moral ruler who restored order after defeating the corrupt Xia ruler. Yin refers to the Shang dynasty, which is sometimes called the Yin dynasty. In the 1,000-character classic, the phrase 周发殷汤 refers to two historical transitions between dynasties where just rulers, King Wu of Zhou and Cheng Tang, overthrew corrupt leaders and established new dynasties. These figures were revered in Confucian traditions as model rulers who acted with virtue and jest to bring about moral and political reform. In this context, the phrase celebrates the virtues of these two legendary rulers who acted decisively to overthrow tyranny and restore order, which aligns with Confucian ideals of righteous leadership. In the past few sessions, we spoke about the system of succession. The system of succession in Chinese history has constantly evolved and developed. It began with the abdiction system, where rulers voluntarily passed their power to someone deemed capable. For example, Emperor Yao chose Shun, and Shun chose Yu the Great, following the tradition of abdiction. However, after Yu's reign, his son Qi succeeded him, breaking the principle of abdiction. This marked the replacement of the abdiction system with a hereditary system, and the Chinese history entered the era of family rule, where power was passed down within the family. From then on, the system of royal inheritance became the fundamental transmission method for subsequent dynasties. However, the specifics of this system varied slightly depending on the situation. For instance, During the Xia, Shang, and Western Zhou periods, it was common for rulers to pass from elder brother to younger brother, but this often led to internal conflicts between different branches of the family, so the system gradually transitioned to father-to-son succession. Although the hereditary system became the primary form of succession, cases of abdication still occurred occasionally. However, these acts of abdication were mostly carried out under duress. Now, let's explore how these characters are written in the 3 scripts. I will start by practicing with you on the water writing cloth, and then I'll demonstrate using ink and raw rice paper.
As we wrap up our session, I hope you found it enjoyable and insightful. If you have any questions, comments, or simply want to share your thoughts, don't hesitate to leave me a message. If you find this session informative, please remember to give me a thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on our future sessions. Discover, learn, and create with us as we bring the best of Chinese culture to the world. Join us at InkDifferent Studio, where art meets heritage. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time.
For more information, check us out at inkdifferentstudio.com.